I said I've received many different answers to this question, but is it better to crash our beers from fermentation temperature directly to 32F or oh no, that's right, 0 degrees C, or to do it in a more deliberate stepped fashion? Because I've heard we want to crash this beer to get it to drop out so we can get it off the bottom of the tank as soon as possible. And then I've heard another group of people say, well, we have to step this down because if we can temperature shock those yeasts, and they're going to excrete things that will be negative for the finished beer. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, for yeast health, I don't have any issue with the hard crash. We effectively hard crash yeast in our own production, in our own cellar. That's not really an issue. You can crash from 25 Celsius or 75 Fahrenheit down to 32 Fahrenheit, 0 basically overnight. That's not going to cause any stress on the yeast. In terms of beer production, it depends on what you're doing. Like there are, traditional lager practices where you have this gradual step down in temperature, but that's usually done in conjunction with a secondary fermentation, like starting the crashing before the beer is actually done fermenting. So the benefit of that practice is that if you're also spunding or retaining natural carbonation, well, as the beer cools down, that beer that can hold more of that CO2 because it's more soluble at colder temperatures. So there's a functional benefit to slow crashing a lager if you're going for like a spunding or a natural carbonation. In terms of yeast, I don't think that there's any real, if anything, slow crashing would have a drawback because the faster you can get that yeast cold, once it's run out of sugars, the better. It will have better viability and better longevity.